Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American contributor for Buddhist Global. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's Dharma talk is Taking Refuge in a Storm. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. Yesterday, I was working in the greenhouse when suddenly a storm came upon me. One minute, everything was quiet and dry. The next minute, water was falling out of the sky. Now, I was inside the greenhouse working, so I didn't get wet, but it was a very surreal experience. Having water falling all around me, banging against the ceiling of the greenhouse, and yet not getting wet. I even took a moment at one point to look up and watch the rain pooling on the ceiling, or on the roof rather, of the greenhouse before it rolled off the sides. The greenhouse in that moment was my place of refuge. It was a safe spot in the storm where, even though I was in the midst of all the action, all that falling water, I didn't get wet. In life, oftentimes we need places of refuge. Things get a little too challenging, they get a little bit emotionally or physically difficult, and thus we must find a place to take refuge. But as Westerners, we may push back against that idea. We may think it means that we're weak, or that our practice is not good enough if we can't simply stand strong against whatever life throws against us. However, the Buddha had other ideas. In fact, he encouraged us to take refuge in times of struggle and strife, specifically refuge in the Buddha, in the Dharma, and in the Sangha. We take refuge in the Buddha by following his example. We take refuge in the Dharma by practicing and learning his teachings. And we take refuge in the Sangha by surrounding ourselves with a community of family and friends who are supportive both of our lives and of our practice. When we do these things, when we take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, it does not mean that storms never occur. It doesn't mean necessarily that we won't even get wet during some of those storms, but it does mean that we will have a proverbial greenhouse, a proverbial place of refuge to return to when things get a little too difficult. The water will fall all around us, but we'll manage to stay dry. Amitabha.